Hello everybody and welcome back to DCS World. Yes, again in the Huey. I'm still trying to, learn the ropes, find out what I can.
Airborne.
What is that? Civil jet taking off from the same airport as me. What a Georgian airport in the Caucasus region, so. We are not quite on that pad. I love little details in this game. So we are in the Caucasus region now. Oh, I just got a Discord message, but we are in the Caucasus region. And this is the default region that comes with DCS. Anyone who gets DCS will be able to fly on this map. I actually originally did start on the runway over there, but I noticed that... Alrighty then. Alright, didn't expect to be able to do that, but alright. Realism. No, but that plane actually taxis onto the runway if you're there. I'm not sure if it'll run into you because I've lifted off both times just to be sure. But yeah, definitely interesting that it does. So I moved myself over to one of the helipads over here. My plan for the moment is there's actually a small town just over here. I mean, basically it's not a small town. It's rather actually a large kind of city region. My plan is actually to take off, basically just go forward, kind of follow this river through the forest along the edges of town to this lake, and then just kind of circle around. Just see what I can do, maybe try landing in some fields. I don't know, there's probably a slightly smaller chance that I murder a bunch of civilians with my helicopter crashes. Yeah, so we're just going to take it from there. No real flight plan or expectation of anything today, just kind of fucking around. I also do believe I have more or less fixed the sound issue. Just adjust my view. Alright. I have the volume set a bit lower, and then I also have a setting for hearing it as if I had a helmet on, so everything's a bit more muffled. Alright, so lift it off. I do have the, in the top left there, the indicator for what my various control devices are doing. It's also worth noting, I haven't really had a chance to do any additional real practice in the Huey since yesterday. This is all just, self-teaching sort of stuff. I'm heading in the right direction, aren't I? Yeah, alright. Here it is. I do believe that these trees are collidable, so... Oh, and apparently I've passed over the river, so... This is the bank. Let's see if I can see. It's going to be a little noisy in just a sec. There it is. Those of you just see in the exterior view there, I am currently flying a skin based on the Ustio Armed Forces from Ace Combat. I believe that's Ace Combat 0 is that Ace Combat? I'm not sure you actually saw any helicopters in any livery, but livery, I don't know, I never learned how to pronounce that word. But this is a search and rescue livery version of that skin. I don't really like the army skins that came with the pack that I got because it's just says Ustian Armed Forces, and it's just sounds silly to my brain. I need to watch out for these overhead electrical wires here. I'm not sure how well those are going to render on YouTube at least. nice little bridges and everything on here. I think I'm going to try and fly into the city, see how that works out. Starting here some power, give us a little bank here. Actually, I have a whole ton of Ace Combat skins for this game now, mostly for the Russian aircraft, but also a few for the F-15, and I've been trying to get some to work for the A-10A that I fly. I also have the A-10C, I just haven't had a chance to really try and learn it with the fully clickable cockpit and all that stuff, including an Ustio Armed Forces A-10, which if you've seen Nassalt's video, Gladysant, there are some Ustio A-10s there from, as it is based on the Ace Combat mission. And I've been trying to get them to work on the A-10A just by changing some folders and stuff like that, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like it really wants to work. It'll show up in the selection screen, but the skin itself does not actually appear on the aircraft. So, I've been thinking about making my own sort of skin, seeing how that works out, just, you know, pasting some roundels and stuff like that onto the aircraft. Ooh, look, a train. And another train. Oh man, like 10-year-old me would love this shit. So I think I'm going to fly through the city up onto that kind of hilltop there. I think it's either a radio mast. Yeah, the radio mast is in front of us. It's between us, rather. I'm going to kind of try and fly up onto that hill and see if I can't make a landing somewhere in the vicinity of it. What is that? That's the wrong way. Well, looks like that actually is on the hill. I'll see if I can't land up there somewhere near it, just to, you know, keep things interesting. Just a bit, just to kind of let us keep maintaining a decent altitude. So try and alight on this vaguely flat space somewhere near this building. Just start lowering the power. No, that's bad. That might have been the start of a vortex ring state. I don't know. No, rolling takeoff for the Mi-24. The only 2 units on the entire map. I'm just going to do a quick Shift R. So I haven't actually been able to find a military airbase, at least in the starting part of this map. So I can't actually do a proper rearm on the aircraft to give myself anything like that. 11, 8, 1. So I can't change the loadout. I can, however, change this screen here. Apologize for the noise, but I'm just to be able to let you guys see the actual exterior parts of the aircraft. So of course there's your standard army skins. This one is one of my, at least for the levels as we have them, I do prefer this kind of whatever the DOS skin is. Quite like that one. UN skin was quite nice, just have a little bit of variety. I also have a lovely Canadian skin for the helicopter. And then here's the Ustian Army skin, which I'm not much of a fan of, but the kind of brighter gray of the SAR skin. Quite like, and then they tell me no.
Unable to comply.
Yeah, so. Whoa. That was bad. I forgot to reset my throttle back to 0. Oh! Before I took off there. That's not well. Alright, come on, let's level it out. I'm gonna head this way this time, head over the Yak 40 as it taxis. And then try and land in this big old field over here. There's actually an American KC-135 here. Interesting. And some C-17s. What is over this way? I can't tell. I'm trying to be very careful with my controls. Alright, so it is just a little bit of town and then a big empty field. That town name at the very top of the screen there, Didi Lido, or Lilo, I read as a very different word for first of all, I read it as a singular word, and something that meant something very different from what that is, which is just a proper name. Alright, so I'm going to try and come to less of a complete hover and just kind of come in for a gentle landing. I'm not sure the Huey can actually do that kind of a hover and then descend sort of landing. So, reduce power a bit. Not the gentlest landing in the world, but, I mean, it gets you on the ground, that's for sure. And it's a little bit dusty. Could embark some theoretical troops. Increase the power back. Let's just say, just for the sake of flavor text, we've just picked up some troops. Main door's coming closed. We have to return them to the airbase because, fuck it, it's like a mile away. Train going over that bridge there. There's just a lot of little details when you've got a lot of the settings turned up in this game that I just really enjoy. I love those little details like that. Flying this thing around the Normandy map, which I've done in my own time, was actually where I started learning the Huey in the first place. That's really something pretty cool. I'll have to show that to you guys in an upcoming video. I would do it during this one, but then I'd have to do actually reload the whole level, and honestly, that just frickin' sucks. It is actually really cool that having wheels, the Mi-24, and then also other similar aircraft like the Black Hawk Apache and things like that actually can taxi on a runway. So these are the helicopter pads. So I don't want to reduce my...
Ford, airborne.
So that's the yak taking off. That's not quite how I wanted that to go. It's just a little bit more power. Just get us nicely over the pad. Power down. Doors open. And there we are way back there. And just spin my head right round. What I actually am going to do, I'm going to quit out of this mission. We're going to close. Go to create fast mission, advanced mode. Switch this to the UH-1H. Country, United States is fine. Start from, we'll do from runway, difficulty easy. Just maybe a runway or something there. Give ourselves a little bit of, I guess, flavor units. So since we're loading back into the Caucasus map, I believe the load time should be a bit faster. So, different summer conditions, clear. Yeah, because none of that. It's actually not what I wanted there. There we go. Start. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Just going to respond back to those Discord messages. Alright, Discord messages responded to. The only downside is I think we're actually loading into an entirely different region of the map, so that is going to be interesting. But I should be able to actually equip the helicopter with weapons, which should be fun. So. All right. this happens?
The button gets lost somewhere over here.
Alright, let me see if there's a control button for doors. Right control C.
Infield 2, passing waypoint 2, passing waypoint 2, forward 7, passing waypoint 2 at 7,000. Rearming complete.
So why can't I close my damn door? That's somewhat important to do. Nope, not like that. Need adjust controls. Let me see if I can add it to the to my stick. I love doing this to you guys. You know, hey, he's gonna be flying to Huey. Awesome. No, he's gonna be fucking around with options for about 3 hours. There we go. All right. Ooh, and I do need to do the other thing, the important thing. We need to arm the weapons, all guns. We're going to start with rockets. That sounds like fun to me. I'm going to do 1 rocket per launch. That also means to turn on the gun sight. Oops, and deploy it. Well, there's a lot of shit around here. So just to give you guys an idea of what I've done. I put a minigun door gun on the left side of the aircraft, both minigun pods for the pilot, and then also the 1 single rocket pod on the right-hand side. This is about to end very poor. I think the rotor's just snapped off. Yep, rotor popped off. It's over there on the left. Next to the radar truck.
Passing waypoint 2 at 7,000.
I wonder why the RPM limiter could be going off. I wonder why.
Chevy 1.
Alright, let's do a quick restart on that. Unfortunately, it won't keep my weapons settings. Alright, well, I really just want to test out the rocket pods. So, let's boot that button. 11, 8, 1. Miniguns are fun too, so we'll keep those on. I think we should actually be able to put both these rocket pods on and not overload. Yep.
Request rearming. Copy.
So it's worth noting that the reason that I suddenly am having trouble taking off is that this is genuinely just a much, much heavier aircraft than what I'm used to. I'm used to one that weighs about 1,000 or 2,000 pounds less on takeoff, so that the takeoff is going to be a little bit rougher for me. But if I ever really want to use this thing effectively, I am going to have to learn how to use it with these various weapons. But I should be able to.
Rearming complete.
Rearming complete. Weapons. Set to rockets. And rocket single pod, or single rocket per pod per trigger pull.
Infield 2, passing waypoint 2.
So we're going to counter with a bit of that.
Passing waypoint 2 at 7,000.
Alright. Correct too much, just let it fly it out, fly it out. I didn't put the gun sight down. there might be buttons for this, but, I mean, hey, it's a clickable cockpit. I gotta use it the right way, right? Okay, that's the gun sight deployed. So, these should be, I believe, white phosphorus rockets, so we'll see how they look. Fire off a couple just here in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, big ol' smoke rockets. I kind of hope they'd have, like, a proper white phosphorus effect to them, but they do not.
Code 1, passing waypoint 2 at 7,000. Chevy 1, passing waypoint 2 at 7,000.
Alright, here's the fun part. So in pretty much every video game you've probably ever seen, helicopters really only capable of firing either one rocket at a time, so left, right, or two at a time, you know, like both sides at a time as I was firing there. In the Huey, there's actually a selector switch for this, so you can decide to fire a whole bunch all at once. So, like so. I think that's... no? Yeah, that's all of them. So... and that's a lot of smoke. Yeah, breathe all in all that white phosphorus, kids. It's good for you. So we're going to flick that switch back to guns. Yep, there we go. Gotta love some miniguns. Now, I think actually in the older versions of the game, which I didn't have any experience with the Huey in those, and this is actually a problem with a lot of the World War II aircraft as well. When you'd fire a high rate of fire weapon like miniguns, it would absolutely tank your frames per second. Now, it does kind of do that for me, but nowhere near to the degree that I've seen it in like some of the YouTubers that I watch videos. Is this a house? Obviously, it's full of, like, terrorists or something, so we're gonna minigun it. So we're trying to do a pretty tight turn here. So now, I do actually have, so you guys have seen me fly the A-10, obviously, in the previous video. You see me, this will be the second Huey video. I've specifically mentioned the, whatchamacallit, the F-15 once before. And I also have, of course, as I've shown some of, depending on who's actually watching this, some of you probably have seen some of the screenshots I've taken of some of the other Russian aircraft I have, but I haven't really played those live for you guys. However, there is a... oh wow, those phosphorus grenades are still going. So I haven't really showed you guys off most of the other aircraft. I also do have the F5E3 Tiger II. At least I believe it's the Tiger II, is the name of that aircraft. Which is another fully clickable cockpit. I have the A-10C, as I mentioned, another fully clickable cockpit. I've had that one since 2011. I'm not even kidding. It was November 2011 that I purchased that, and it was... I haven't really touched the game seriously until just really last week. Which is not at all a fault of the game, by the way. It's just a fault of me. and not wanting to put the time into learning a really proper simulation game. So this is going to get really in the way when I try and land, so get rid of that. A pair of F-16s, I think that, yep, making a landing together. Let's fly in there and follow them. The AI pilots don't really have to follow all the same rules as us, so they can actually stop quite a bit faster. It really is such a shame that there's no proper flyable F-16 in DCS. There is I believe there is a mod that allows the F-16A to be flown using the F-15 cockpit, but there is not a proper F-16 module, or I don't even believe there's one in the works. And I believe it's because there's a really old game from Micropose, came out quite a few years ago, called Falcon 4.0 or Falcon BMS, something like that, which has kind of taken the market for the F-16. But unfortunately, it's a much older game, so a bit tricky to get running for some folks. Oh, my FPS is just tanking. So I think I'm going to bring it in for a landing, and we're going to call this video here for now. I've done a little bit more. It's pretty similar, really, to the Las Vegas video, although I would like to point out I haven't flamed out and crashed yet. I mean, I have crashed, but I haven't flamed out my engine and crashed. So I believe I'm making some progress there. So I'm just going to slow down, but we're not going to stop. No, now we've basically stopped. Frame rate didn't really go perfectly, but hey, all my bits are still attached. Okay, actually, you know what? I will do one thing, because the white phosphorus, I thought the white phosphorus things were going to have, like, cool white phosphorus explosions, and we're going to look all awesome, but no, they were just kind of goofy smoke grenades. So I will, just to have some fun, I'll swap these out for some standard
Request rearming.
high explosive.
Copy.
I don't know why that one button doesn't freaking work. Just waiting on ground crew.
Rearming complete.
I've suddenly lost the ability to click. Oh, left Alt C would do it, okay. There it is. So we're going to set this back to rockets. Click that to single pair rockets per 5, or just number pad 5. Going to redeploy the gun sight. And we're just going to go fire some rockets and things. I mean, hey, it wasn't the smoothest takeoff in the world, but it was better than some of the first ones. I'm gonna probably break some rules and cross in front of the airfield here. I think those A-10s are coming in for a landing. So. First things first, we're gonna engage this rail bridge. I don't even know if you can kill the bridge, but hey, we're gonna give it a shot. I'm not even sure if a bunch of high explosive rockets can do it, but hey. Break them off. Oh, and there's my engine failure for the day. I don't even know what I did wrong. Come on. I look forward to the day I can pull that off with somebody. Synchronized landings. These guys might be using the Ustio skin. Is going real low. I really hope the AH-64 and the Mi-24 really get... I guess trees don't matter to the AH-64. Got some real sturdy rotor blades in that thing. But I really do hope that they get properly modeled going forward. Because I would love to be able to fly one of those. Anyways, so as usual, I have crashed hilariously and horrifically. So I'm going to call it here for the day. You guys hopefully have enjoyed this video a bit more, being able to hear me and all that. So, yeah. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time.